TVWAN.
Land of Bad premieres Saturday, September 28th, 9 p.m. on HBO.
Digicel TV, home of Rugby League. Dial *515# to subscribe.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome to another edition of TVWAN News. I'm Carol Kidu Jr. In this edition, Kokoda track closes indefinitely. Law and order situation escalates in Pogera. And Manam Islanders protest poor living conditions. 52 trekkers from Australia have been told to turn back after they found themselves stranded at Nowra village in the Koyari rural LLG, following the closure of a 30-kilometre section of the Kokoda track from Nowra River to Offie Creek by frustrated landowners. The landowners reiterated that the track will only be opened when their outstanding MOA payment of 40 million kina is paid.
No longer there, free for you to walk.
Unaware of a closure notice given last Friday, 52 trekkers set out yesterday to walk the historic Kokoda track, only to discover that the track was closed. Representatives from the trekking group sought dialogue with the landowners in an attempt to gain entry to the track, but their requests knocked back.
Is there anything we can do to help that so we can pass through?
We will not let the trekkers out, but we will all stand here. We are locked up here and we will all support each other. Make sure that the government must quickly respond to our governments.
Today, the Kodu Resource Owners Association executives in a media conference maintained their stand, reiterating that the track will not be opened until the government responds favorably.
Kokoda track remains closed until the landowners receiving our commitment of 40 million kina.
They sought dialogue with the Conservation and Environment Protection Authority today, but were not entertained, adding to their frustrations.
Mipla bingolo first meeting lo milo tem sepa but this la meeting no bin come right lo mipla. O se no mipla bring we come before consent lo public na even lo government. Government must look sa lo mipla.
SEPA is the lead agency, as the MOA signed in 2008 was to protect the track and the environment from proposed mining activities. The landowners were promised 50 million kina as socio-economic development package in exchange for the lost benefits that would have been derived from the mine. While 10 million kina was paid in 2013 and 2014, 40 million kina remains outstanding with the MOA expiring in 2017 and no review conducted.
Government then promised me law. Give him this money, mipla. Emi no make him. Emi no give him. Emi no give him so. Mipla by still want him. This should mipla make him. Gaman by give him this 40 million mipla. Then mipla by open him Kokoda track.
The chairman of the umbrella association, Kokoda Track Landowners Association, Philip Batia, in support of the stance taken by the Kodu landowners, expressed disappointment at how SEPA and relevant government authorities have turned a deaf ear to the landowners over the years.
Our petitions and our grievances are falling on deaf ears. If you can respond to Pogera, why can't you respond to Kokoratrek? If you can respond to Bougainville, if you can respond to other countries' issues in our country, why can't you respond to Kokoratrek?
He has appealed to responsible authorities to attend to their queries at the earliest in order to see the track reopened. Ruth Rongola, TV1 News.
As the law and order situation in Porgera escalates, the Porgera gold mine has suspended a majority of its operations until 19 September for the protection of its employees, while the government restores law and order in the surrounding region. Most of the mine's workforce is from the local community. Following the latest outbreak of tribal conflict in the area, the government has implemented a state of emergency and is reinforcing police presence there. New Porgera Limited, in a statement, said its asset protection unit is working closely with the government security personnel to ensure the safety of the mine's employees. NPL also confirmed the loss of 2 of its employees while they were off duty and expressed deep regret at the loss. Member for Kandep Don Polier has called for peace to prevail in the mining town of Porgera Enga province. Polier, in a media conference today, said violence in Porgera is uncalled for and urged all the tribes involved to come together and look for an amicable solution.
Member for Kandep and senior Engan leader Don Polier has called on tribal leaders in Porgera and Enga province to unite and let peace prevail in the mining township. Polier said there are many reasons for the occurrence of the tribal war, but was originated from illegal mining and taking laws into people's hands. He said if the people in Porgera had lived harmoniously according to lawful ways as good law-abiding citizens, then such tribal killings and violence would not have occurred.
I asked them to stop it because now see what has happened? Now you've been fighting over what has been stolen. What has happened now? You destroy everybody innocent, especially women and children who do not even know what you're doing. Other young people, school, health, business, they're all going down because of 2 people stealing gold, and therefore they end up fighting outside of the mine area. Let me also say that if we allow illegal mine to continue to take place even after this tribal warfare, what will happen is we will really compromise the safety and security of an international mine.
Polier reiterated that the destruction of quality and quantity of well-being, businesses, social services, infrastructure, and human life has escalated to unprecedented levels. Hence, all leaders of the tribal fights must surrender and let peace prevail in the township.
At this very moment, at the current time, I'd like to call on the people who are involved in these tribal warfares and who have caused the stoppage of operations of the mine. At this time, when you have inflation on the rise and foreign reserves on the low, and you find the kina is very volatile and it is losing its value or has been made to be devalued by policy of government, you'll find the good sides and bad sides of every policies that come about. And what's happening is when you affect a flourishing mine like Porgera, it affects your own household. You'll find inflation gets worse. You find foreign reserves continue to get depleted. And you'll find your kina will continue to lose value.
Meanwhile, Polier thanked the Prime Minister and the national government for declaring a state of emergency in Porgera. Freddie Moe, TV1 News.
In the same token, member for Kandep Don Polier has called on the National Executive Council to revisit engaging Australian police to work alongside PNG police in Porgera. He is also calling for an extension of the SOE for an additional 2 months to cover the entire province.
It is a wiser decision at this time to bring in our partnership policing from the Queensland Police into Porgera, into Enga. This should be an exceptional circumstance in which the Queensland Police or any other foreign police do not come in to take the lead in combating law and order or combating the tribal warfare, but they work side by side with the police in Papua New Guinea. PNG Police and Queensland Police, they work together under that MOU.
The Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary's dog unit has not been managed well and is not performing to expectations, says the Director, Acting Superintendent Daniel Yangen.
When testifying during the Commission of Inquiry into the RPNGC January 10th civil unrest, the Director for Dog Unit, Acting Superintendent Daniel Yangen, said the RPNGC is not managing the Directorate up to the standard required to enable the Directorate to perform its duties effectively. He said this wasn't properly managed because there was a split in both management and operation divisions having their own directors, which was not supposed to be the case.
In the provinces, I do both of them, operation and administration. In the Dog Directorate, I'm doing only administrative duties only, and not operational.
He said police officers attached to that unit are paid differently from the RPNGC Alesco pay system. Usually, their pay is diverted from the annual funding distributed to the Directorate annually.
Or are they paid separately from the police budget?
That's a normal salary, sir.
Yangen said they receive about 2.387 million annually for their operation. However, this funding can only be used in NCD, while units outside of NCD face funding issues to better function.
Utilities, rentals, and come down to capital formation.
Okay. So you say the Dog Directorate is assigned 2.837 million?
Yes, sir.
The director said that currently there are 6 dog units located in Rabaul, Mount Hagen, Goroka, Leh, Wewak, and Madang, while the main unit is in Port Moresby. Challenges they face include having no trained dogs, limited manpower, and no funding to operate. He urged the RPNGC management to reaffirm its commitment to building this directorate due to its significant role in tracking down crime through the use of trained police dogs.
Long-term solutions are needed to address the recurring issue of flooding in Morobe Province. Member for Leh and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso made this statement when referring to the torrential rains of August 23rd and September 6th, which devastated a number of districts in Morobe. He said while immediate relief is essential, they must also focus on sustainable measures that will protect communities in the future. This includes not only river protection works, but also comprehensive flood management strategies, improved infrastructure and community preparedness. The Deputy Prime Minister reassured the people of Morobe Province that the government is fully committed to supporting their recovery and building resilience against future natural disasters. The Rabaul Frangipani Festival is one of the highly anticipated events in East New Britain Province. The frangipani was the first tree to blossom after the devastating twin volcanic eruptions. Hence, the festival signifies the people's resilience and spirit to rise from the ashes.
Rabaul in East New Britain was once a bustling and colorful capital of the province, known as the Pearl of the Pacific, until the 1994 twin volcanic eruptions. The lively town quickly turned into a ghost town, with houses buried underneath the volcanic ash. The town, which is now called New Rabaul, is slowly dusting off the ashes, and the vibrant Frangipani Festival serves to remind residents that they can restore their beloved town. This year's festival had 165 floats that paraded through the entire length of Malaguna Road, consisting of business houses in both Rabaul and Kokopo. This year's theme was Rabaul Rocks, remembering 1994. McGrade explained that the theme has three meanings. The first is an acknowledgement to the regular earthquakes in the area. The second is because of the rocks and pumice that exploded out of the volcano. And the third alludes to the town's admirable trait of rocking on despite challenges. Camila Guare, TV1 News, Rabaul.
This is TV1 News. We have all the independent stories from around the country after the break. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Are you thirsty for more? Celebrate this independence with Pepsi's new look, same great taste, and lower than low prices. Only $2.20 in stores now. Includes Pepsi, Pepsi Max, 7-Up, Mirinda, Mountain Dew, Gold Spot, and Coca-Cola. Hurry to your nearest store for more. Open hands.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, P&G e Mia. Fine P&G made.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi trupla. All get a young planalapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no P&G, one-time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Laga, Bunyamyumi.
Welcome back. As the country celebrated its 49th independence anniversary on Monday, 16 September, Manam Islanders in Port Moresby gathered at Gerihu wearing all black, depicting that there is no reason for celebration for them. The reason is the plight of 20,000 people who have lived in care centres for more than 20 years in poor living standards, awaiting permanent resettlement as promised by the government.
Two leaders traveled from Medeng to Port Moresby to seek the assistance of the educated elite of Manam Island, hoping to meet the highest authorities to present their case.
So this is now karangi belum blah. We thank him government rotete. They give me some sampla halevin. There's some give me all the talk punis. That's all. Makmak bro this laga halevin minus akama belum blah. Expected. So things sabe long you all get a man by me to call same government working decision and me passing money now problem is tablo one map I think problem is tablong bureaucratic amblong work. So might as well imitram lo fix him along the line of man who said to walk long stretch him sinan ol manam.
If the government is generous and capable of accommodating refugees from other countries on Manus Island, then why are its own citizens still living in care centers?
Problem, big problem the population growth to come up. Space and problem, all man meri work ground, same ground, grease ground, no got molo. Or even passing no pay money, helping people on school assistance or this like that. So ongoing school people big problem to us. Health, all mama like caramel pigrini, and people no got good health assistance like a car or bring more mama go out sick or even a pigrini. So plenty of people die.
Throughout the years of living in care centers, as expected, women and their children are the most vulnerable.
People and mama sabe out long, walk garden long, same ground. So walk kai, no got kai, no got good plow, cash crops. Two, me pela mama sabe out long, walk long painim, out sick. Time mama like Karim, na time picking is sick. 3, mi pela mama is a walk out long pine wara. Time long big plasan no got good plawara. Na now mi pla mama location time mi pla need him help him block government.
The educated elites who hold public offices and in other private sectors feel they can handle their affairs, but they are not given the chance. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
President of PNG Nurses Association and Deputy President of Trade Union Congress, Frederick Hebai, joined in the leaders of the internally displaced Manam Islanders to call for action to relieve the people of their distress. He was speaking during the demonstration of Black Independence Day on Monday, 16 September 2024 in Port Moresby.
Because we union advocate for the rights, human rights, we PNG Trade Union Congress are also throwing our support to the people of Manam, to call on the government, to support the calls from our local leaders, to call on the government to look into their plight and permanently resettle the people of Manam so they can better look after themselves.
Residents from all corners of the National Capital District and surrounding Motukoita villages came together on Sunday morning to participate in the Independence Unity Walk led by NCD Governor Powes Pakop. The walk, themed One People, One City, One Future, was aimed at showcasing the unity and diversity within Port Moresby and across Papua New Guinea. Governor Pakop emphasized the significance of embracing the nation's diversity and fostering a sense of national pride among the people. Reflecting on the journey of PNG, he highlighted the resilience of its citizens who have called the land their home for over 50,000 years. Additionally, Governor Pakop underscored the importance of recognizing and appreciating the country's abundant natural resources such as gold, copper, gas, and oil. Despite the challenges faced over the past 49 years, the governor expressed optimism for a prosperous future, underpinned by the unity and strength of PNG's population. On the 16th of September 2024, the vibrant and culturally rich Kimbe Market in West New Britain Province was adorned in traditional attire as it led the celebrations for PNG's 49th independence anniversary. The management and vendors came together to showcase cultural pride, setting the stage for a day filled with jubilation and cultural significance. This colorful and lively event brought together various cultural influences, creating a spectacle that drew in residents and visitors alike. Governor Sasindran Mutaville and other dignitaries graced the occasion, further adding to the spirit of unity and patriotism that filled the air. In a vibrant showcase of cultural pride, Kimbe Market's management and vendors led the festivities for the country's 49th independence anniversary in West New Britain province. Amidst the celebrations on 16 September, Momasa and Arawa cultural influences harmonized, creating a colorful and lively atmosphere. Kimbe Market Manager Diane Mirio addressed the gathering, setting a tone of unity and celebration.
We prepared for this in observation of our Independence Week. We decided that we should celebrate diversity because West New Britain is diverse. So with the 7 tribes of West New Britain, we mix them up with the other regions. So today we opened the observation week on Monday with the Arawa tribe and the Momasa region.
Agatha Kapi, the Nakanai District Development Authority women's representative and a vendor at the new Kimbe Market, shared her thoughts on the ongoing celebrations for PNG's Independence Day in West New Britain.
Me part of this Momasa region, this day, celebrating independence in preparation for 16 September.
The Independence Day celebrations in Kimbe Town were a sight to behold, drawing in residents and visitors alike. The joint parade of police, correctional service, and the fire service officers, accompanied by local schools, made a grand entrance into Vogaya Park, marking the commencement of the celebrations. The arrival of Governor Sasindran Mutuvel further elevated the event as he inspected the parade of the joint forces and addressed the crowd.
You mean bringing back this passing respect, passing respect lo elders. Now building this unity inside lo society lo yumi. Of course, inside lo country lo yumi lo Papua New Guinea. West New Britain is the most tolerant society. Papua New Guinea is in the heart of West New Britain. Yumi truly practicing this unity in diversity. So government must look survey. Government must look survey lo contribution to West New Britain.
In attendance to witness and partake in the festivities were Talasia MP Freddie Kumai and Oil Palm Minister, as well as Nakanai MP Francis Maneke, who also delivered an address, adding to the spirit of unity and patriotism that filled the air. The celebrations at the Kimbe Market highlighted the importance of local vendors and the cultural significance of their role in the region's economy. Carol Kidu Jr., TV1 News. At the independence celebrations in Kimbe Town, Talasia MP Freddie Kumai and Nakanai MP and Minister for Oil Palm Francis Maneke delivered speeches to inspire and give hope and optimism. Kumai emphasized the importance of cherishing freedom and expressed gratitude for the progress made in the last 49 years. Maneke highlighted the need for continued development in the province, focusing on the goal of achieving prosperity in the next 50 years.
Independent nation. One time, you are taking this freedom for granted. You are taking this freedom for granted. Now you are respecting this freedom. 49 years ago, this country, and we transform, and we grow economy, and we grow infrastructure, and we grow. Now you will do a lot, but today you will enjoy this life. Now you need to thank you. You need to thank you, now you need to people of this nation.
Just as independence celebrations were graced across the nation, Vanimo Township didn't sit back but held its occasion in unity with a little ceremony fit for its residents. In the presence of Governor Tony Wowo, who addressed residents, the Monday 16 September event was memorable and celebrated at the Vanimo Town Oval, starting the day with a march from Vanimo Primary School to the Oval by the disciplinary forces, followed by schools from around the town area. The event was attended by the Consulate of the Republic of Indonesia to Vanimo, including other senior dignitaries and church leaders. Vanimo residents came in their red, black and gold colors, presenting items to entertain the small crowd that gathered. Governor Wowo took time to thank public servants, private agencies, development partners, and NGOs for their contributions over the 49 years to the development of West Sepik Province. The government of the Republic of Indonesia was also acknowledged for their continuous support through the Indonesian consulate through grant projects in the province. PNG's 49th independence celebrations is celebrated around the world. In Vanuatu, a small PNG community gathered at the Melanesian Spearhead Group Secretariat Office and celebrated the Independence Day with flag raising, followed by cultural activities depicting the various cultural groups from Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea will always have a special place in the hearts of the people of Vanuatu after PNG's intervention following independence in 1980 and was described as a uniquely effective exercise in regional security cooperation in the Third World. On Monday, September 16, 2024, the PNG diaspora dressed in the national colors, centered with pride in the heart of Vanuatu capital, walking through Kumulai Way to the Melanesian Spearhead Group Secretariat Office for flag raising and the national pledge, standing united with millions of PNGs worldwide as free people since 1975. It was a momentous occasion as Vanuatu Mobile Force Band led the commemoration along the highway, significant to the history of both nations. As practiced elsewhere, the speech by Prime Minister James Marape calling for peace and unity was also relayed to the people. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed lower at $0.2559 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2484, $0.3648 Australian dollars, $0.2155 euro, and 34.58 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee, cocoa, palm oil, and copper closed higher. Crude oil closed lower, and copper closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. You're watching TV1 News. We'll bring you news from abroad when we return. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
Are you thirsty for more? Celebrate this independence with Pepsi's new look, same great taste, and lower than low prices. Only $2.20 in stores now. Includes Pepsi, Pepsi Max, 7-Up, Mirinda, Mountain Dew, Gold Spot, and Coca-Cola. Hurry to your nearest store for more.
Papua New Guinea. We love a reason for a family gathering. A reason to play. A reason to ignite the flame. A reason to cook the best with the best. Flame Oil, now PNG made for PNG cooking. Flame Oil, winning taste.
Scale Rise brings to you some Scale Indie vibes this independence. Cashing out a total of 300,000 kina in prize money around PNG this independence. 4 fortnightly draws, 75 fortnightly winners, 300 total Scale Rise winners, and 1,000 kina Scale Indie prize for every Scale winner. Here's how to enter the promotion. Buy any Scale or Ori Rice product, write your full name and contact details on the back of the store receipt, drop your entry into the entry box in store. For more information, either check in store or follow us on our Scale Rise PNG page. Terms and conditions apply. Scale Rise, and buy you like it.
Hardware House is more than just a store. It is where quality meets affordability, where culture is proudly celebrated. Spanning 9 provinces, we pride ourselves in offering top-notch customer support and services. We're more than just a store. We're more than a brand. We are Hardware House.
I never thought I'd be thinking about having another baby.
Their biggest moments.
I'm planning to ask Mariah to marry me.
Their point of view.
I felt like Vanessa regrets married me.
90 Day Diaries starts Wednesday, September 25 on TLC.
Welcome back. The Pacific Islands Forum has confirmed that the Forum Troika Plus delegation will visit New Caledonia in October to assess the escalating political situation in the French territory. The mission, which has strong backing from French President Emmanuel Macron, aims to promote dialogue and address the growing tensions on the ground. Forum leaders have reaffirmed their commitment to the Troika mission to New Caledonia, with discussions ongoing. The mission was scheduled for last month but was postponed just before the 53rd Forum leaders meeting in Tonga to allow time to address concerns raised by the New Caledonian government. Addressing hearing loss and depression could be some of the easiest ways to reduce the risk of developing dementia, according to a new series of scientific papers. For the first time, the papers focused on the Western Pacific region, which includes Australia, China, Indonesia, and Vietnam. The area is predicted to have half the global cases of dementia by 2050.
This Tai Chi class is part of a program of activities designed to put a positive focus on ageing.
It's not only the exercise, it's also the socialisation that comes with it, which is great.
Most here are well versed on the risk factors associated with dementia and are doing what they can to mitigate the ones within their control.
What we can do for ourselves is to try to stay as involved as we can with other people, to stay as involved as we can with learning new things.
By doing lots of exercise, by doing crosswords, trying to keep mentally and physically fit.
For the first time, a set of scientific papers is looking at the risk factors for dementia in the Western Pacific region. The area has 20% of the global population, but is predicted to have half the world's dementia cases by 2050.
Clearly there are genetic issues underpinning the process, and so we know, for instance, that diabetes, hypertension, smoking, some critically important modifier risk factors are more prevalent in the Western Pacific region.
With 66 million people in the region estimated to have depression, treating the condition could be key to reducing dementia cases.
It affects people's quality of life, and it also affects their capacity to engage in the other health behaviours that are really good for your brain, like social engagement, physical activity, etc.
More research needs to be done to confirm the theory that treating hearing loss will also decrease dementia risk.
It's critically important that we offer screening for hearing and vision for the population and make it accessible.
A new scientific focus to shed light on a debilitating disease.
Pacific Islands Forum Secretary General Baron Waka has emphasized the importance of unity and collective action to drive sustainable development and economic growth in the Pacific region. He said during the opening of the 8th Pacific Trade Invest Independent Advisory Board meeting recently. The gathering marks a critical moment in a collective journey to foster sustainable development, resilience and prosperity across the Pacific. As the region continues to face threats of climate change and economic shifts, the forum highlighted the importance of focusing on innovation, strategic partnerships and investment attraction to navigate these challenges. One of Sydney's most popular cultural institutions will be protected forever after an expanded heritage listing. It means despite shifting redevelopment plans, the Powerhouse Museum in Ultimo must remain a museum.
It's long been a drawcard for young and old. The Powerhouse Museum's Ultimo site is now at a turning point.
This listing is an exciting moment in the history of the Powerhouse in terms of securing its future and the precinct's future in its location in Ultimo.
Plans for the precinct have long shifted. The previous Liberal government intended on demolishing parts of the complex for a mixed cultural and commercial development. Now, changes to the building's heritage listing mean the entire site must remain exclusively as a museum.
This listing recognises our community's connection with this museum, but it also enables the museum to move forward with this new revitalisation project.
Protections which previously only covered the original power station have now been expanded to include the RAN building and the Galleria. Plans are already underway to restore those buildings and give the area a $300 million facelift.
There's been a bit of concern in the past that maybe the museum would be closed. This is yet more proof, absolutely, that it won't be. That instead what we're going to have is a brilliant new facility with the kind of revitalisation that you can only manage once in a century.
It's been 6 months since the Powerhouse closed and it's since been completely emptied. The government's hoping a builder can be appointed by the end of the year and work can begin in 2025. More than 3,000 objects have been relocated as part of the big move out. The biggest is the World War II era Catalina, which will be exhibited temporarily at the Haas Aviation Museum in Albion Park. Over at the Powerhouse Parramatta site, things are taking shape.
And so we're really moving into that next final stage of the construction of the museum.
Powering up to put a new future on display.
Victorian Premier Jacinta Allen has begun her 4-day trip to India by spruiking Victoria as a prime location for international students. The government is concerned an impending cap on foreign students could cost the state billions and is hoping the Premier's visit can mitigate the damage. Ms. Allen's India trip comes as Labour faces more headaches at home.
Touchdown in the Indian capital.
It was a very comfortable, smooth flight.
The Premier has 4 days in Delhi to sell the education state.
We are home to so many Indian students who choose to come and study at one of Victoria's world-class education institutions.
But Victoria now has a monkey on its back in the form of international student caps. The federal government hopes to impose them by next year.
I'm yet to have meetings with representatives of the Indian government. I will be over the course of this week. And I will be making it clear in those discussions that Victoria remains a welcoming place, regardless of what the federal government is doing.
The Premier says Victoria's relationship with India is worth over $3 billion. But there's more money to be made outside of the education sector.
My focus over the course of this visit will be on strengthening those areas with a further focus on film, culture, sport, technology.
Back home, and the government continues to deal with issues arising from the state's construction sector. A report into the CFMEU has found that the union is awash with criminals and attempts to clean itself up have been insufficient.
Labor's big build is rotten, with bikies still on the major projects here in Victoria.
Jeffrey Watson SC's report was commissioned by the CFMEU and found that motorcycle gangs were still influential in the union, violence was accepted as part of its culture, and pay negotiations had become vulnerable to corruption.
Our government has zero tolerance for this rotten behaviour. This rotten culture does need to be pulled out.
It's an action-packed start to the Premier's first official trip abroad.
And that ends our news segment. Join me for sports after these short messages.
flash, we're ready to go.
These two are creeping into your personal space. Why don't we send them packing? Oh, maybe not.
Bing bang bing. Bum, bum.
Your TV is about to burst with more channels. Catch live sports events. Be informed with international news.
U.S. officials are worried that this could...
Sit back and enjoy the blockbuster movies.
You need to stop this.
I'll work for you.
Or let your kids enjoy all their favorite cartoons and many more exciting channels now available on your Digicel 60-channel prepaid pack. Subscribe now to a 60-channel Digicel TV prepaid pack. 1, 7, 14 or 30-day plan and enjoy 60 channels of world-class entertainment. Dial *515# to subscribe now. Digicel TV. More channels, more choice, more value.
Are you thirsty for more? Celebrate this independence with Pepsi's new look, same great taste, and lower than low prices. Only $2.20 in stores now. Includes Pepsi, Pepsi Max, 7-Up, Mirinda, Mountain Dew, Gold Spot, and Coca-Cola. Hurry to your nearest store for more.
I never thought I'd be thinking about having another baby.
Their biggest moments.
I'm planning to ask Mariah to marry me.
Their point of view.
I felt like Vanessa regrets married me.
90 Day Diaries starts Wednesday, September 25 on TLC.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, it's finally here, an epic grand final showpiece for the Capital Rugby Union Men's 15 and the New Power Women's 15 competitions set for Saturday, 21st September 2024 at the Santos National Football Stadium here in Port Moresby. This year's grand final day promises to provide a host of hotly contested fixtures across all grades, starting with the men's under-20, men's under-23, men's A grade and open women, culminating in the main draw card for the CRU men's competition.
The Santos National Football Stadium is primed for another feast of intriguing rugby this Saturday in the grand finale of the 2024 Pepsi CRU Men and New Power Women's Cup deciders. Kicking off proceedings in the under-20 final, University takes on Marlins, followed by Harlequins versus Thetis Marlins in the men's under-23 final. Kramer Osenko Brothers versus Harlequins in the men's A grade, followed by the Women's Cup showdown between Harlequins and University. The much anticipated blockbuster in the men's Premier Division will feature minor premiers and defending champions Osenko Brothers up against new challenger and dark horse for this year's major silverware, the revamped SWC Enterprise Valley Hunters. CRU 8-time premiers Brothers will be put to the test by the underdogs, a revitalized and resilient Hunters outfit who will stop at nothing to knock off the favorites.
One of the biggest strengths of Brothers is that, as soon as someone goes out, they've got another 10 players ready to replace them. So whilst they might miss the experience and skills of Emil and Tony, they've got about 10 other boys who can do just as good a job. So whether they play or not, for us, without sounding too disrespectful, our preparation and focus has just been on us.
Brothers evergreen Jonah Kautu Jr. will again showcase his big game experience to control the tempo and set the pace for his big boppers to do the damage through the middle for their backs to score. The Valley Hunters will be banking on their hard-running duo Jonah Tokyong and Jedediah Katal to challenge Brothers to slow their momentum, cut down time and pace, and running hard lines in attack. Brothers will be led by forward Mr. Fixit Getsiraka to grind down the Hunters, who have big runner Luis Madudulo to launch raids from set pieces. The outcome of the match will be determined by the team that's willing to push themselves a bit harder and not distracted by emotions. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
The annual National Netball Championship got off to a good start on Independence Day, Monday, September 16th, at the home of PNG Netball, the Rita Flynn Courts in Port Moresby. This year's championship was initially scheduled for Lae, Marabe Province. However, due to recent flooding and other related challenges, Port Moresby will play host to the championship.
The 2024 National Netball Championship successfully concluded Day 2 of the Junior Division Games this afternoon at the Rita Flynn Courts. The Under-16, Under-17 and Under-21s commenced on Monday, with the final scheduled for tomorrow, Wednesday, while the Senior Division take the courts on Thursday and Friday. The Junior Division includes teams from Lae and Gulf, apart from Central and NCD in the Under-15, who have 11 teams, Under-17 12 teams, and Under-21 12 teams, a total of 35 junior teams. Former PNG International Representative and Tournament Director Loa Rikis said despite the late change of venue, the games are going full steam ahead despite a slow start due to the weather this morning.
Yeah, I think today after the rain in the morning, we started off our games just a bit, delayed. But so far, we've after the games have started, it's full speed ahead for our teams and for the umpires. So yeah, it's been good turnout from the provincial associations. So we have associations from the outside centers that came in. So we have Lae District that's participating in the Under-21. We have Gulf that have 2 teams in each division from the Under-15, 17s and 21s.
So far, with majority of the teams are from the southern region, with 2 from Lae, Milne Bay and Eastern Britain, the Federation has also conveyed apologies to the Lae Association. Rikis says they are looking forward to the senior games this week and an exciting challenge awaits.
Our junior division will have their finals tomorrow, and then we start off the senior division on Thursday, and that will end on Friday. For the southern region associations, it was easier because then they didn't have to travel by plane. But for associations like Lae and East Britain, they've made the effort to come. So we're really grateful for the associations for doing that.
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
The Fiji Football Association, through its Talent Development Inter-District Championship, has provided a space to nurture young football talent nationwide. Held in Suva earlier this month, this inaugural event showcased promising athletes from as young as 9 to 15 across both boys and girls divisions. The Talent Development Tournament was created to offer a structured environment where young players can showcase their skills and experience competitive play, which is crucial for early football development. It was a landmark event for Fiji football, bringing together over 450 young talents from under 9 to under 15 across the country. OFC Development noted its importance in creating a clear pathway for young players in Fiji. Coaches scout for talent in these age-specific categories, guiding players into developmental programs and academics. Early identification is critical as it ensures they are placed in the right environments where they can receive specialized training and support. Manusina 15, Samoa's national women's rugby team, marked the return to their first game on home soil after 15 years with a 20-17 win over Australia A on Monday at Apia Park. It was a match where both teams matched each other equally. The home support had the Manusina fired up as they led 12-7 at one point in the first half. The teams went to the breather tide 12-12. Australia A broke the deadlock in the second half with a try after keeping the pressure on. The Samoans fought back with more points to take the win to qualify for the World Cup in Dubai. And now the weather forecast. There is a renewal of strong wind warning for coastal waters of southern and PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Island through Gulf of Papua to all coastal waters of Central Province, including Port Moresby to Samarai Island, to all coastal waters of Milne Bay, waters of Cape Vogel to Oro to Huon Gulf, as well as for Siasi and Vitia Strait to Long Island to Karkar Island and the western tip of New Britain. Strong southeast winds of 25 to 33 knots, stronger gusts are expected to persist for the next 6 to 12 hours, causing rough seas. All small crafts and boats are advised to take necessary precautions before going out to sea, especially in the warning areas. And that ends the news tonight. Pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank